AITA for walking out of dinner after my boyfriend humiliated me in front of his family over my cooking. I, 26F, have been with my boyfriend, Ben, 28M, for a little over a year now. On the surface, things have been pretty smooth between us. We laugh at each other's jokes, share inside references, and even have a cute morning routine where we brew coffee together while dancing around the kitchen. The kind of relationship that feels comfortable, you know? Like putting on your favorite pair of jeans. Familiar, warm, and seemingly perfect. But every relationship has its bumps, and last weekend, I hit a massive one, and now I don't know where we stand. A bit of context, I love cooking. Ever since I was a little girl, I've found comfort in the kitchen. The way the smells would fill the room, the joy on someone's face when they took their first bite. It always brought me a deep sense of satisfaction. I'm not some Michelin star chef, but cooking is something I'm passionate about, and Ben knows this very well. However, what I didn't realize until we got more serious is that Ben's mom is a culinary goddess, at least in his eyes. And this has become the backdrop of a low-key, ongoing saga between us. Ben has this obsession with comparing my cooking to his mom's, particularly when it comes to her lasagna. Now, I've heard about this legendary lasagna of hers more times than I can count. At first, it was kind of funny. Every time I made lasagna, he'd say something like, "Oh, it's good, but not as good as my mom's." Or, "Nice try, but you've got some competition." It was a playful thing, or so I thought. However, the joke started getting a bit too frequent for my liking, and it wasn't just about the lasagna. It was subtle, but every time I'd put my heart into making a new dish, there'd be some remark from Ben that referenced his mom's cooking. And let me tell you, after hearing mom's is better for the 100th time, it starts to wear on you. I mean, I wasn't competing with his mom, but it felt like I was supposed to be. Anyway, last weekend, Ben invited me to his parents' place for dinner. The moment I found out lasagna was on the menu, I felt that familiar twist of anxiety. It's silly, right? I was going over for a casual family dinner, but in my head, I was bracing myself for yet another comparison. I tried to brush it off, told myself I was overthinking, and maybe this time it wouldn't be a big deal. Before we left, Ben casually dropped a comment that immediately put me on edge. As I was finishing getting ready, he looked at me and said, "Maybe you'll finally learn how to make lasagna properly tonight. Yours could definitely use some improvement." He said it so nonchalantly, like it was just a lighthearted jab. I tried to laugh it off, but the truth was it stung badly. I didn't say anything at the time because I didn't want to start an argument before we even left for dinner. But inside, I could feel the weight of that comment. My cooking, which had always been a source of pride and joy for me, was being turned into the punchline of a joke that wasn't even remotely funny. Fast forward to dinner, and of course, his mom's lasagna was the centerpiece of the meal. Everyone was raving about it from the moment we sat down. I'll admit, it was delicious. There's no denying that. But the more they praised it, the more I felt like I was shrinking in my seat. Then it happened. In the middle of everyone gushing over the lasagna, Ben decided to chime in with what he must have thought was a hilarious anecdote. "Oh man, this is real lasagna," he said, with this exaggerated sense of appreciation. OP tried making it once, but let's just say, there's a reason we're all here eating my mom's tonight. His family burst out laughing. At that moment, my heart sank. I could feel my face getting hot, my hands gripping the sides of my chair, trying to stay composed. I was embarrassed, but I forced a smile. I thought, okay, maybe he'll stop now. It's just one joke. It's fine. But he didn't stop. Ben went on about how I'd supposedly burned the sauce. I didn't. How I clearly didn't have the same touch as his mom, and how maybe I should leave lasagna making to the experts. The worst part? His family was loving it. They were laughing along as if it was some lighthearted family fun roast, and I was just sitting there, my pride in shambles. I felt humiliated. There's a difference between playful teasing and what Ben was doing. He was belittling something I genuinely loved doing in front of people I was still trying to impress. Every laugh at my expense felt like another punch to the gut. I couldn't take it anymore, so I excused myself, quietly, politely. I told him I needed some air and walked out to sit in the car. The moment I got inside, the tears came. I didn't want to cry in front of his family, but I couldn't help it. I felt so small, so disrespected. After a few minutes, Ben came out looking confused. He asked why I'd left so suddenly, and I told him. I explained how hurt I was by his comments, how it felt like he was mocking something that meant a lot to me. Instead of understanding, he brushed it off. "You're overreacting," he said. "It was just a joke. You need to stop being so sensitive around my family." Sensitive? Was I really being too sensitive? I stood my ground and told him that if he thought humiliating me in front of his family was funny, then maybe he should be dating his mom's lasagna instead. Yeah, not my finest moment, but I was hurt. And to be honest, I think I wanted to hurt him back in that instant. He didn't take that well. He got angry and accused me of ruining the night. Since then, we've barely spoken. He's clearly waiting for me to apologize, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like I wasn't in the wrong. I get that humor is subjective, and maybe I'm a little sensitive when it comes to my cooking, but does that give him the right to tear me down in front of his family? Especially when he knows how much I care about it. Should I have just laughed along and brushed it off like he did, or was I right to walk out and stand up for myself? I've been replaying the whole thing in my head, wondering if I'm the one who overreacted. So, AITA for walking out after my boyfriend embarrassed me in front of his family?